talking about the sheer power of connection. So let's start with a really profound question. What if 2 billion Muslims became the world's most connected economic community? Just think about that for a second. If we temporarily set aside borders and politics, what actually happens when 2 billion people start creating opportunities for each other? Through business, investment, and trusted relationships? Well, the answer could fundamentally reshape the entire global economy.
Part 1. A multi-trillion-dollar ecosystem.
Okay, to really grasp this, we have to look at the numbers, starting with one of the world's absolute largest economic communities, a globally distributed population of 2 billion people. Pause and just wrap your head around that scale. In terms of human capital, consumer base, and sheer workforce potential, it is an astronomical figure. It's a massive slice of the global population, and they all share common cultural threads that can instantly facilitate trust.
And then you look at the sheer purchasing power. We aren't just talking about a big group of people here. We're talking about an incredibly active consumer base, representing $2.6 trillion in annual consumer spending. That is a staggering amount of capital flowing through local and international markets every single year, all driven by this one specific community.
Now add to that nearly $6 trillion in Islamic financial assets. This isn't theoretical. This is capital that is already formalized, sitting right now in financial institutions, just waiting to be deployed into the global market. It's a massive, massive pool of investment potential that could fund startups, infrastructure, and international trade on a completely unprecedented scale.
Plus, you have more than $421 billion moving across borders in annual halal-related imports. This specific figure really highlights the existing trade networks. It proves that cross-border commerce is already happening at a massive scale, specifically tailored to the lifestyle requirements of this demographic.
So, when you aggregate all these figures, the $2.6 trillion in consumer spending, the $6 trillion in financial assets, and the $421 billion in imports, you're looking at an interconnected economic ecosystem worth well over $8 trillion. Let that sink in. $8 trillion. This is absolutely not a niche market. This is a primary driver of global wealth. It's a formidable economic engine.
Part 2. The missing connective tissue.
Now, the real tragedy of this untapped potential is that millions of brilliant professionals, businesses, and investors are, well, they're simply missing each other. Entrepreneurs with amazing ideas never find the investors holding that $6 trillion in assets. Small and medium-sized businesses never reach international markets to tap into that $421 billion in import spending. Talented professionals never discover opportunities beyond their own borders. And the kicker? It's not because the opportunity doesn't exist.
This comparison brilliantly hits the nail on the head. We have an absolute abundance of resources. Consumers, entrepreneurs, investors, top-tier talent. The raw materials for an absolute economic boom are all sitting right there. But what we lack is the vital connective tissue to link all these scattered resources together across borders. Technology connects devices. Trust connects economies. Capital builds companies. Relationships build ecosystems. I love that quote. It makes it vividly clear that the next trillion-dollar opportunity on the global stage isn't going to be discovered like striking oil in the ground. It's going to be connected. And it's going to be connected through human trust and relationship building.
Part 3. The power of 1%.
Okay, let's do some quick math and walk through this incredible projection. What if just 1% of the world's 2 billion Muslims created just one new trusted business relationship a year? Just one. That alone creates 20 million new commercial connections annually. Even if we are super conservative and say, all right, only 10% of those become genuine business opportunities, that still generates an astonishing 2 million new actionable business partnerships every single year, all just through the power of 1%.
And those 2 million partnerships? They trigger a massive economic ripple effect. We're talking more trade, more investment, exports, jobs, innovation, and overall prosperity. And listen, this isn't just about doing business exclusively within one insular community. It's about strengthening one of the world's largest economic communities so it can collaborate more effectively internally, which naturally allows it to engage much more successfully with the rest of the world. Stronger businesses create stronger economies, and stronger economies create greater opportunities for literally everyone on the planet.
Part 4. Building new economic infrastructure.
Networking is no longer about collecting contacts. Networking is becoming economic infrastructure. Building relationships is no longer just a soft skill you bust out at a conference over coffee. It is the vital, structural framework required to turn isolated potential, like all those disconnected entrepreneurs and investors we talked about earlier, into actualized wealth. Truly, it is the economic infrastructure of the future.
And because every major transformation begins with a single, simple connection, an organization called Connect Sook is stepping up to build that very infrastructure. They are actively inviting entrepreneurs, startup founders, investors, manufacturers, farmers, really professionals of all kinds, to join their global business community and just start the conversation. They've provided their email and WhatsApp details right here to help you begin building that connective tissue.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final powerful thought to chew on. We've seen the staggering numbers, 2 billion people, an $8 trillion ecosystem. The opportunity isn't some distant future projection, it already exists, right here, right now. The only real question remaining is, do we have the vision to connect it? Thanks for diving into this with me today.
भाई, क्या तुमने आज की ताज़ा और बड़ी न्यूज़ सुनी है? नहीं, मैंने तो नहीं देखी। एक बात बताओ, तुमको हर न्यूज़ सबसे पहले कैसे पता चल जाती है? मैं न्यूज़ वाला अड्डा फॉलो करता हूँ, इसीलिए मुझे हर चीज़ की जानकारी होती है। हाँ साहब, मैंने भी न्यूज़ वाला अड्डा सब्सक्राइब करा हुआ है। अच्छा, तो मैं भी जल्दी से सब्सक्राइब कर लेता हूँ। आप भी जल्द से जल्द न्यूज़ वाला अड्डा सब्सक्राइब करें और सबके साथ शेयर करें।